Hi guys and gals, froggy here. I have done this valve in here once before, replaced the valve. I'm going to do it again. I hope it goes easier this time. I didn't wait as long. I think maybe 5 years this valve's been in here, maybe 5 years since I did the first exhaustive extraction of the valve because it was stuck. You can find that video on my channel, Froggy's Garage, and hopefully this one will help you out and this one will be easier. So first thing is I shut off the water to the whole house. I opened the sink and let the pressure off the system. Now I do have instructions. It should be an Allen in there. There's a little bit of soap or crud in there. But there should be instructions. There are instructions. Trouble with most of these instructions is they give you the instructions for half a dozen different valves. And then they give you some more instructions on replacing the O-rings in the valves, or, I don't know, refinishing the chrome. I'm kidding about that, but they just give you too much. So this one here that shows an Allen, that should be mine. Okay, I've got metric and standard Allens. So I got to put this down and find the right size and get that off. Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is just a quick one. Trying to get this set screw, it's an Allen set screw, out of this handle so that I can replace the cartridge inside, okay? It's an Allen and it got a little bit rounded out and it's a cheap Allen screw anyway. So I've got all the correct sizes, everything, and I could not get it to turn. So what I did was I took a Torx and I jammed it in there, and I'll be a son of a gun if I didn't get enough grip or traction on that to be able to get it out. So just a little trick when you're running out of different sizes of Allen wrenches and you've got all the correct sizes and you just can't get any grip on the screw. Try shoving a Torx in because it's got all those little sharp edges, and the Torx might just do the trick like this one did. Okay, Froggy out. Let's see if I can give you a little close up there. That's a Torx. Well, it's not focusing there, it focused. So that's a Torx. And those are some bigger Torx drivers, okay? Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is replacing the single handle Moen cartridge in a shower, and that is the cartridge right there, that white thing in the middle. I'll put some links for you. And in the directions, this is going to be B like boy. It's going to be the B one. So the first thing is you're going to take the handle off. And I did a whole separate video on taking the handle off because usually this set screw here is frozen in place and hard to get to. So I gave you a couple of tricks on how to do that. Look up that other video. Next, you take the handle off. Then there's a Phillips screw right in the middle here. And I'm taking that out with one hand while I film with the other hand. I think that's got it. And that takes this piece out right here. Whatever they call that, I don't know. Now, I think maybe we'll have to take this escutcheon off. There's 2 Phillips for the escutcheon. Let me look at the directions. Actually, what you do next is you just take your hand and you slide all this off, this little plastic and the metal sleeve around it. Just slide that all off, and you can see how that was leaking and needing some replacement. I think this metal piece gets used over again. So let's put that in order here. The next thing shows using a pair of pliers and taking off this horseshoe-shaped fastener. But I can't really see that here. So I am going to take the escutcheon off so I can see in there a little bit more. Okay, a couple of really long screws to get this escutcheon off. And there's a little rubber gasket there too. Now you can see this horseshoe-shaped thing. That's what holds in the cartridge. And chances are whoever drew up those instructions has never done this before. So they probably don't even know that you're going to take the escutcheon off. So now it's off. Now I'm going to get some pliers and get at this little horseshoe-shaped retainer. I would call it a retainer. It retains this cartridge. So I took my vice grips like that and just wiggled a little and pulled straight up, and that came out. It's brass, so it doesn't get too corroded, too bad. So now I think we are down to the cartridge. Now, before I try to replace this one, I want to refer you to a previous video that I did where this thing was stuck in there so bad after like 10 or 20 years worth of being in there that I had to really demolish it. And that video has got a lot of views on it, and you can look it up on my channel. This one has only been in there maybe 5 years, so I'm hoping it's going to come out easier. We'll see. So the rest of these directions show a little tool. See that little plastic thing right in the middle of your screen with the arrow pointing out of it? That comes with the cartridge. So you use that tool and some pliers and you twist it and you pull out. And that looks like about the whole thing. And then to put the new one in, you lubricate it, you shove it in, you make sure the hot coal is HC is pointed up towards the top. I guess that's the retainer. And put the retainer back in and put it back together. So let's see how that goes. Here's my new cartridge with the tool. I'm going to take the tool off of that and use it on the old one. Okay, well, I got lucky, I think. The tool is kind of a joke. I think it's a joke that Moen plays on you, because it's got too much. There it is. It's got too much give in it, too much play in it, too much flexibility. It's too flexible. It's not hard, and it just turns into a piece of mush when you try and use it. So I put my vice grips on the stem, and I just pulled straight out. And I wiggled a little bit and pulled straight out. Wiggle, pull, wiggle, pull, wiggle, pull. And I used not all my strength, but I used a pretty decent amount of pulling. And so this one came out the way they're supposed to come out. Look at my other video if you can't get it out, because it shows you some alternative ways. I mean, all this kind of breaks into, this is plastic, it just breaks off, and you have to dig it out, and this rubber sealing part just gets all turned into shredded wheat, and it jams up inside there. Anyway, you've got to be careful that there inside I'm trying to illuminate it. Make sure you don't damage any of the surfaces inside there, because those surfaces have to seal with this rubber seal, and if there's any leaks in there, I'm going to stick my finger in there. Oh, sorry, I got out of frame. It has to be smooth, nice and smooth. This feels okay. I mean, there's some cutouts where the hot and cold water comes in, but the barrel part of it, if you want to call it the barrel, like the barrel on a gun, has to be smooth. So it feels good. I am just going to shove that new one in there. I'm going to lube it, and I think we're going to be all right. You can see where somebody cut away a 2x4 here to get that fitting in the right place. Oh well, you know, the construction these days is the days of real craftsmen, except for a handful of guys that are around, the real craftsmen are just historical. They just cobble together these new homes. This was built about 25 years ago. Okay? So lubricate that very, very liberally, and also that O-ring right in the end where my thumbnail is. They give you some silicone grease. It's kind of, I wish it'd been a little bit thicker actually. It seems like it's kind of thin grease, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to suggest that you replace this every 5 years. Otherwise, you're going to be doing it the hard way like I did the first time. You see that? I aimed it the wrong way. The HC has to be pointed up, so I'm going to have to pull it out and put it in again. I don't think there's any damage to that because it's just a smooth surface in there. So I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to lube it again and then put it in the right way. Okay, I pulled it out. I lubed it again. Now I got the HC pointed up. Okay, I'll shove it back in. I took my pliers and I used the little tool to shove it in the last about 3/8 of an inch because it seemed to be hitting a little resistance. Those rubber gaskets will sort of peel out or fall out of the indentations that they're in. So you've got to be careful you don't mess up one of those rubber gaskets. I think this one went in okay, but that last little 3/8 of an inch, you got to make sure this is all the way in. You see it, where my finger is? Okay, I put a little lube on this little horseshoe shaped piece. See, it goes in right where my finger is, right in that slot there, just like that. Don't drop it down in the wall or you'll be screwed because there's no extra one. So that holds the cartridge in there. I'll take this down on my workbench and clean it up a little bit before I put it back on there. Okay, I took some 3000 sandpaper and a little purple power cleaner and cleaned it up. It's not going to be perfect. It would have been nice if they gave me a new piece. I guess if I specifically asked for this, they would give it to me. They have like a lifetime warranty, but it's not going to show anyway. Sorry, I was out of frame. It's not going to show anyway. So I'm going to reuse it. And next time I do it, I'll try to remember to ask for this piece. I asked them for a new escutcheon, and I'm going to use it because it's nice and shiny. It's got fresh gaskets, and use those same long screws again. I think this goes on before that piece, but we'll see. Let me try it. Here's what seems to work best is put the metal sleeve on, then the escutcheon. Don't over tighten these because you're compressing that gasket. So just don't over tighten them. And then that cap goes on the end here. Now this piece can go on one way or 180 degrees another way. And that's gonna make a difference as to where your handle ends up. You want your handle to be like straight down as off. So I may have to take this out off after I get it all running and turn it 180 degrees. But I don't know right now. I've got a 50-50 chance of it being right. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. That new handle that I've got has to have a new piece here. So I was trying to use this old piece with the new handle, and that doesn't work. So a new piece like this with the new handle, which is not that one. Okay, new handle down there. So this new piece, when it gets right there, it rubs up against this metal sleeve. I don't know if you can hear it or not. You can feel it, and it rubs there. I don't think there's going to be anything I can do about that. Maybe it'll wear down after a while, but I don't think it's going to change the function of anything. Just feels a little funny there. Yeah, so straight up is off. So that means I'm going to have to take that off and reverse it 180 degrees, which is not too big a deal. Yeah, so straight up is off. So that means I'm going to have to take that off and reverse it 180 degrees, which is not too big a deal.